Welcome to Down the Garden Path. I'm your host, Joanne Shaw, landscape designer and plant lover. I enjoy discussing down to earth tips and advice to help you seasonally manage your garden and landscape. And I also aim to bring you interesting and relevant topics to educate you all about the landscaping and horticultural industry. Hello, and welcome to Down the Garden Path. Thank you for joining me here today. It's just me doing a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a topic that is close to my heart, and I'm seeing it a lot this year. I'm seeing comments kind of thrown out to me either personally or overheard, or I've seen one on LinkedIn where people are saying that a landscape design is a luxury product and it's a luxury service for those that can afford it. And to be honest, I beg to differ. I've helped in my 18 years doing this, I have helped people from all economic and house sizes and I really don't believe it's a luxury product or a luxury service. I really think it's an important service. Everything we own, from our homes to our cars to our toasters and coffee makers, have been quote unquote designed, and they've been designed to work properly. Is it perfect? No. We all have homes with flaws. Mine has no overhead lighting and drives me crazy, hence the wall lighting always. But cars, yes, there's always a flaw or something you don't like about your car. So I'm not saying that landscape design will mean you will have a perfect landscape. But I really do truly feel that it is very important for you, and it will save you money. I assure you it will save you money. So I know it's a bit of an investment, whether you're looking at a full landscape design, including hardscaping, whether you're including a pool or not a pool, or whether you're just looking for a garden design. If you already have, you moved in and the hardscaping is okay, and you just want to improve the plantings around it. So many stages, many people, or if it's a new build and you haven't even really hardly lived there, then you don't know what you want, and you don't know what you don't not want, and you don't know what's going to work. So I think those are perfect situations, regardless of the house size. Even if it's a brand new small house, small townhouse, you don't know, you've got small space. And so it means we have to do, like, get every inch out of that space and make it as useful and as functional as possible. And that's really what a landscape design does. It's not all about the pretty trees and flowers. It is about maximizing the space, doing things properly, looking to the future, because we know things are going to change. We know things, that your neighbor does is going to affect you down the road, things like that. So we all, and I'm speaking for many designers. So if there's another designer listening and you agree or you don't agree, please let me know, chime in the comments. I just really want to reiterate that it really is invaluable to getting a successful property in the long run. And it's not just about the plants. So I think that's something that people really think, oh, well, it's just about the plants. And it's not. It's a landscape design is, you want to make sure that all of the hard surfaces, the pathway, so designers, landscape designers are very much like interior designers. We have a certain perspective and we're looking for certain things and we're thinking outside the box. Outside, literally outside the box, if you call your house a box. So not only do you get the fresh perspective, but we are looking for things that you would never even occur to you, that will help your curb appeal, help your functionality. Things like the pathway to your home and the height of your home. You might think, oh, let's save money and just do like a 3-foot walkway. Well, it doesn't really save money because they're going to have to cut the stone anyway. So, whereas, the curb appeal for your home will totally look better with a 4-foot, 5-foot, or even 6-foot path, because you should comfortably have two people be able to walk side by side. You and your groceries, you should be able to carry them side by side. You and the stroller, you and your children with holding their hands. You should all be able to walk up to your front door hand in hand with a walkway that is wide enough for you to do so. Do you save a lot of money from going from a 3 foot to a 5 foot? Not necessarily. Not for the long run and from the hassle. Because what happens is each side of that walkway, that 3 foot walkway, is never going to grow grass because the people are always walking on it. So so look at things differently. And I unfortunately will have, people say or contractors say, well, that's what the client asked for. Well, we are the experts. So that's what I say to people in my industry. We are the experts and we are the ones that need to say why it's not a good choice, that it's not that much of a savings, and that it really makes more sense and they'll be happier in the long run with a proper walkway. That's one example. Um, I think of views. So also designers, we are also considering about the inside of the house. We are inside you know, in Ontario here. We spend a lot of time still inside. So what are you looking at outside from your windows, from your kitchen windows? Do you want to look at your shed? Well, the contractor will say, or well, that's where the clients wanted it to be. Well, is that really the best place for it to be? Could it have gone in another corner? Could it have gone on the side of the house so it's not in the view? Yes, they make really cute and fun looking sheds these days, but I want you looking at something much more interesting out those windows. Same with your patio doors. What do you walk out and look at? Are you walking out your patio door and looking at your neighbor walking out of their patio doors? So it's not so that's where we would adjust and say, okay, well, let's put the patio on this side, or let's modify it and place some larger trees or some privacy screens on this side of the patio to alter your view a little bit. So it's not just about the stone and the plants and the soil and the gravel and all those things. We are really looking at your landscape as a whole, and we're really trying to improve your space for you. So I think those things are invaluable because there's nothing like the regret of once it's down that you wish you'd done things differently. And believe me, I have been to a lot of homes where they have said, "Oh, I wish I'd started with a design. I wish I'd known." And so I'm here to tell you that it is not, please do not view a landscape design as a luxury product. View it as a necessity, regardless of the size of your property. Um, Also, if you're working with somebody already, or if you are about to hire somebody and they just want to handle the hardscaping, like the walkways and the patio and the back patio and the stairs and the garden bed, like the walled gardens, but they say they don't do plants. You can call somebody else after we're done for the plants. Then for me, that's a bit of a red flag. All of those guys know somebody like me who does do plants and knows plants, and they should be calling and they should be getting advice. And you should be too. You should really look at that because, again, I have scenarios where the pool has gone in, the whole backyard has been complete, and the pool contractor has left space for trees, privacy trees behind the pool, behind the concrete, and between the concrete and the fence. Well, they've left 3 feet. 2.5 feet, sometimes 3 feet if they're being generous, so that you can plant trees. And so then they go off and leave, and then you call a landscape designer to put in large trees because you've got a neighbor behind you on a tall deck, and you want to get some privacy for your pool. Well, the problem is any large trees uh, their root balls are larger than 3 feet, often 4 feet if you want to add new soil and really amend the hole around them. So these are things that can't be done at the end. They have to be included in the discussion from the beginning. So again, is a landscape design a luxury or is it invaluable? I'm telling you, for these clients, it's invaluable to have that information, to have that planning, to have that expertise before the work starts is really, really important. And we're not there just again like to add the pretty flowers at the end. We're there to help you and to maximize the space and the maximum and really make sure you're not making a decision. You might think that this is the best solution, but we're the professionals and we've done it. We've been in thousands of backyards and we can really help you figure out the best way. Not only verbally telling you, but our drawings, drawings are to scale, much like your house drawing was if you bought a new house, or even back in the day, if you pull out your survey, your property was done to scale. So we can do a drawing because nothing's worse than you coming home from work and going, oh, that's not that patio that I thought would work doesn't even fit my table or won't even fit my couch. We have the drawings that are to scale, that we can place furniture in and trees in and people in even. And so that you can really get a sense of your space. Not everybody is great with space management. I am very good about it outside, but I struggle with it inside. So I have a friend who's very good at it inside. And when it came time to redesign my kitchen, I hired a friend that was a kitchen designer because I needed her to make the most use of my awkwardly shaped kitchen. And she was the expert. Even though I could do a scale drawing, I could have measured and done my kitchen drawing and drew everything to scale, but it doesn't help me because I don't know the sizes that the cabinets come in and the recommended sizes that the fixtures are and that type of thing. So it really is knowing that it's worth the investment in an expert to help you really have a successful project where you're really happy with the project. The raised walls is another thing. So garden, the homeowners think, okay, well, I don't want a big garden. I want it to be low maintenance. I want to keep the garden wall, very small. So maybe we'll do 3 feet. Maybe we'll do only 2.5 to 2 feet because I don't want it to be high maintenance. Well, I'm telling you, that is high maintenance because plants don't grow that wide. Plants grow wider. And again, looking at the scale of your house, if you've got a really tall house and a really skinny garden, it's not gonna garden wall, it's not really gonna look great in the end. I'm telling you that if you don't want plants lined up like a soldier and you want to kind of stagger them a little bit, then you need a 4 or 5 foot garden. Is it more maintenance for a bigger garden? No, it is not, because now you don't have to keep pruning back the plants. That's the size they're naturally going to grow. I even venture out that a 6 and 7 foot garden is even less maintenance because the plants gives them so much time to grow and to fill in, and you're not constantly having to cut them and trim them and keep them from away from each other. The plants are spaced properly. And the 7 foot, if you've got a very tall house, even if it's a narrow house but very tall, it will look better. It will really complement the space. So, and then the other thing to consider is that when the wall is built, there's quite a bit of construction material in that first 6 inches, 8 inches, maybe even up to a foot. So nothing grows there. So you'll find and people will say to me, well, nothing is growing in this area or nothing's growing along the patio. And that's because we need to allow for space for that, screening or the stone that's underneath the patio. We need to give it space and we need to consider that. So the plants don't need to be butt up right against the garden wall, nor do they need to be butt up right against the patio. They can, if the garden is bigger, then they can be set back and they can thrive and mulch can cover. And you don't need to know, nobody needs to know that there's screening underneath there. So it can all be done properly. So this is my little rant, like I said, that I really truly feel that regardless of size of your property, I've done some really teeny tiny ones and we've gotten so much out of the space creatively, efficiently, and the clients are super happy that they've have this new outdoor space to live in. So I just want to give a shout out for anybody who's on the fence or thinking about a landscape design or thinking about new landscaping, that don't view the purchase of a landscape design or a garden plan as an expense or as an unnecessary expense or luxury. I promise you, the efficiency that we create when we work hand in hand with you and with the contractor to build the best possible scenarios, it's invaluable. It will save you a lot of money this year that you actually do the installation and years to come, because you're not going to have to take trees out of spaces that they didn't fit, or you're not going to have to put in a potted plant beside a pool and have to wait 12 years for the tree to actually give you privacy. We are constantly thinking and problem solving so that you can have the best landscape that you want and you dream of, and that works for you. So many people are working from home these days, and they want to also have a nice space outside so that they can do that. And so there's so many factors. Privacy is always a big one with our clients, and then there's many creative ways to achieve that. It's not just with the cedar hedge. So there's often ways, different angles we can turn the your views, and we can really shape your experience in your backyard. So again, regardless of your space, regardless of your budget, I assure you that a landscape design is worth the investment and you will find it invaluable. Thanks for listening to my rant and thank you for supporting Down the Garden Path. This episode has been brought to you by my business, Down to Earth Landscape Design, where I can do a landscape design for you here if you're in Durham region, or if you're elsewhere, I can do virtual designs as well. I've worked with successful clients from New Brunswick and Montreal and even Texas. So happy to do that and happy to help you. Thank you for listening, and thank you as always for joining me here down the garden path.